I don't suffer from a lack of inspiration or a lack of motivation, but I used to. I never used to suffer from a lack of inspiration. I always had inspiration and ideas. And anyone that went to school with me had the curse of probably seeing how many ideas I had. That said, none of those ideas came to life. I was going to say I had a lack of motivation, but I was motivated. I just couldn't get myself to make the things that I was thinking about making. What I've kind of eventually unraveled is I naturally have lots of ideas and inclinations, and they manifest themselves in a variety of ways. When it comes to the personal projects, there's basically a number of things that have to be in play that will get me to work. The first is the act in and of itself has to be enjoyable. What I have come to realize is that I have to approach it in a way that guarantees that it's enjoyable. So whether it's writing music, doing design stuff, doing something bizarre like this, whatever it is I'm doing, I have to make sure that I approach it in a way that makes it fun. Because I'm already doing stuff to make money during the day, and that stuff very often is not fun. So I have to make sure it's fun. So like this is fun. This is fun to do. Play records, talk to people, hopefully offer something of value. Very fun. The way I write music is fun. The way I do graphic design is fun. Everything I do it in a way that's fun. Even if the results to other people might not seem like it. Like a vlog about addiction might not seem fun to other people, but the making of it was enjoyable. I went for a walk and I talked about something I cared about, and I did it in a very casual, enjoyable way. So there's fun. Then there's the tools have to be kind of cheap and stupid. I like to start with everything being as low quality and as dumb or as easy to get as possible. It took me a long time to realize this. I used to be like one of those people that when they wanted to do something, they'd research it and then they'd go and buy a bunch of stuff. Like that's like how I would do it. I'd be like, oh, well, I need this thing to make music. And I'd buy some piece of software and I'd buy like another piece of equipment, but then I wouldn't use it. And the thing I've realized now is that like I like things that are dumb and as cheap as possible. And then if I get addicted to it, I'll upgrade. So like I already like doing this bizarro radio show idea, kind of want to buy a mixer and a microphone. I'm not going to, but I'm tempted to. So fun, stupid, easy tool. And then the other thing is I need to be able to integrate it into my life in a way where it doesn't feel like work. So this thing, set it up on the table. I'm still technically within like the normal working hours. I might jump off if a bunch of emails pile up and something urgent comes up. But in general, I've been managing my work day to where I can carve out this hour. I can start a little bit earlier. I can skip lunch. I can do these things. So I do all this stuff so that it fits into my everyday life. Most of like when I do my own graphic design, it happens while watching TV. I write music while watching TV or in the bathroom, as the case may be. Trying to think of other stuff like that. If I make, the way I make photography is like I have these stupid bags of trash and I sit on the stoop in my front porch and drink coffee and I photograph the bag, and that's how I make photography. For a while I shot these photos of trees because where I would do vlogs was surrounded by trees, and I was like, well, I got nothing else to make a photo of, trees it is. So that's to me the kind of three big factors. And I guess the fourth one is the way I approach it, which is I almost never have a goal. I have a thing I'm doing, but I don't get super bummed out if things don't work out. Like there's lots of vlogs that never got published because they just didn't work. It never came together in the way that I needed it to. So I'm not worried about stuff. I actually don't even need to like stuff. It's just kind of bizarre. Like what I just described, now to some people what I just described is a nightmare, but to me what I just described is all my creative activities are hobbies. You could like probably make the argument that I'm a workaholic, except that this stuff doesn't make me miserable. It makes me super fun. And the stuff that I do for money, I really do want to stop. Like I don't want to be sitting there working on stuff that the only real value in it is that I'm being paid to do it. So I'm hyper motivated to do the things that I want to do. and I'm not super attached to any one of them. That's kind of the big thing for me, is that you make sure that all the pieces work in a way where it's a close race between which thing is more fun to do. Like, is it more fun to watch Netflix, or is it more fun to do graphic design or make music or edit videos? And for me, it's like, it used to be watching Netflix was way up here. This other stuff was way down here. It was stuff I had to do, but it wasn't stuff that was fun. Now it's changed to where they kind of sit on the same level. And if anything, there's a lot of stuff I do in place of making more art, but that's because, you know, if I'm hanging out watching a movie with my family, I'm spending time with my family, and they appreciate that I'm there, and they'll get annoyed if I pop open the laptop and start designing, or if I put my headphones on and start making music. But the reality is that, like, it doesn't matter what movie I'm watching, I kind of would rather be making stuff. For me, that's kind of how motivation works. I think there's this inverse to it, which is that, like, you can either be contextual about it or you can be goal-oriented about it. Typically, I think we're taught to be goal-oriented. Like, if I do this thing, I will get what I want. Therefore, I must force myself to do it. And I think the problem is a lot of people aren't wired that way. And like, I made a video recently about artists who are addicts. I think in general, addicts aren't wired that way, and a lot of artists are addicts. And so you end up with this kind of problem, which is like the world tells you that this is the way to be motivated, but it turns out like I'm not super motivated to do stuff for some payoff down the line. About as motivated as I've been recently is to make sure to clean out the coffee maker the night before, because it's a hassle to do it when I'm tired in the morning. That's about as far forward I can think. So I have to be contextual. Like, I have to work like an addict. I don't work like an adult that has their shit together per se. But then because it's the right way for me, I get results and I'm extremely gratified. Hopefully there's something in there that might be helpful to you, but at the very least, that's how I work and that's how I approach this kind of stuff.